Today, we're going to be talking about Tales of Graces F for the PlayStation 3. Now, Tales of Graces F originally came out for the PlayStation 3 in 2012. However, this game was originally a Wii game that got kind of an HD remake for the PlayStation 3. Now, in typical Tales fashion, Tales of Graces F is an RPG that has active combat. However, in this game, the combat is a lot different than in traditional Tales games, but we're going to get into that in a little bit. Now, the story behind Tales of Graces F, you play as this boy, Asbel. The game starts off with you and your friends all as kids, and pretty much something happens that the game kind of fast forwards. You kind of have a couple life direction, different things, and you play the rest of the game after the first, I think, couple chapters. The rest of the game is played as adults. Now, in Tales of Graces F, you are basically set out to destroy this kind of humanoid creature called Lambda, who's basically set over to take over the world, like a lot of RPGs have. Now, I was reading beforehand that they said the story in this game wasn't that strong, and I'd like to disagree because I was really into the story of this game. Just for the fact that the chapters didn't seem, you know, overly long. They kind of all fit, and the story, I think, developed very well. Now, coming back in this game, like in most Tales games, is the title system. Now, in titles, what they do is you equip them to your character and you can learn different abilities, different traits, which in this game they actually make use of them, because in certain Tales games, the titles are literally just there for show and they really don't do anything for you aside from kind of being shown as like a trophy. In this game, as you develop skill points and develop different titles, you know, your defense boosts, you can learn different arts, different spells, and in this game, thing that I think is cool, let's go into the combat real quick, is in most Tale games, you have a combat system where it's active combat, which is in this game, but it's not very intuitive to the extent where you can do certain arts and you have to let your gauge refill, but in this game, you have to kind of dodge to gain points to kind of build up your special meter. There's different abilities and you gain different points, and there's also an elf system, or Elith, however it's pronounced, which pretty much it allows you to equip different type of items that add bonuses to the end of the battles. Now, this does have to be recharged, and you can also develop your Elith into a higher, substantial more amount, just so, you know, the battles work more in your favor. I didn't find this game overly difficult. However, the game itself does have some challenging points. I've only died in this game, I think, a handful of times, but it was never anything that made me want to quit for the day. The Tales of series, as I've mentioned in the past, is my favorite RPG series, and I actually picked up this game over a year ago on Black Friday, and it was just kind of sitting in my drawer because I really didn't have time to get to it. And I clocked in about 25 hours, and I like to think that this game I would recommend to people. The battle system's cool, the story's cool, the music is wonderful, and in 2018, this game still looks fantastic. It's colorful, it's vibrant, the voice acting's fine, there's not really any cheesy moments. However, some of the little dialogue scenes, I feel like got a little dirty at points, to the point where in Tales of, you have opportunities to kind of press like select, and there's like a sub-dialogue that goes on between the characters, and some of them in this game had a couple dirty jokes in it, and I thought it was kind of cool. Made the game a little more fun to play, or at least, you know, a little more of wanting to listen to those dialogues versus, you know, not wanting to. And I'm trying to think some other things in this game that are cool. Is you have a dualized system where if you get different items, you can kind of combine them and make the items stronger, or you can use them to make like different dishes, or just kind of items that you can sell off at the shops. You can get more gold, it's called in this game. Now, one thing I thought that was weird was I thought it was a little difficult to level up in this game. Not the fact that it was hard, but the fact that I feel like it took a little bit longer than in other Tales games I've played, but that might just be me. You know, you have your skill points, which you get at the end of the battle, which help you learn different abilities based on the titles you have. And I think that's where they kind of made the titles important. Going back to that, is the fact that your abilities are linked to the titles, and your skill points kind of allow you to learn different moves as you please, if that makes sense, because different titles have, like I said, different arts, different abilities, and it definitely helps. Now, overall, this game has a lot to do, a lot of side quests. There's a card battling system it's like Magna Carte, and you kind of, it's like an homage to Tales of, because the characters you use in that game, that little side game, are other characters from other Tales games, and you kind of have to guess who's saying what based on like imitations that are being done. So it's kind of, you know, cool. It's a little almost Easter egg of a game, and I just thought it was nice that they added that in here. As I mentioned, this was a remake of a Wii game, or a port, an HD port of a Wii game. But by the way this game looks, and I've never seen the Wii original, you would have never guessed. I would have thought this was built for the PlayStation 3 just because I think it utilizes the hardware fine. The load times are fine, the music's fine, even the cutscenes. They're like anime cutscenes, but they display wonderfully. And I know this only outputs up to 720p, but I'm playing this on a 4K 50-inch TV, and granted my TV has some upscalers, but this game I think still looks beautiful. Now, where does Tales of Graces F have some shortcomings? Well, I really don't think it does. To the extent where, through my playthrough, especially being used to the way Tales games play, I thought this game kind of, you know, flowed perfectly fine. There was a little bit of annoyance, I think, in the dungeon systems, I think it's more because this game has dungeons akin to how Tales of Symphonia dungeons played, which I love, because in newer Tales games you don't really get dungeons like that, where they're kind of puzzle-based, they kind of make you figure things out, instead of just, you know, running through them, like in the newer games. And that's where I kind of enjoyed this game, too, because it was intuitive to the point where it made you think. But aside from that, I think Bandai Namco, Team Tales, they did a great job with Tales of Graces F, and I would recommend picking it up, or at least giving it a playthrough, guys. As always, if you've played this, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. That's my little quick review of Tales of Graces F for the PlayStation 3. I know you can get this for a relatively cheap price these days, and I definitely recommend playing it. As always, thank you for watching this video, guys. Like it, share it, subscribe to my channel, go check out all my other videos. Until next time, you guys have a great one. See you, bye.